So for everyone, Pradanya, a minute back, cleared PMP. So first of all, Pradanya, congratulations, sister. Great
Thank you.
job. Where is your certified PMP husband? Where is that? I want to see him.
Easier.
So, so promise completed?
Yes, it is completed. Thank you so much.
Sure.
See, I was pretty sure once she is with you, she is going to clear.
Yeah, it took some time. Finally, push up from the husband when he messaged me. He said, "Amir, why don't we book the exam?" I said, "Let's book the exam. I was just giving you a break that she has some challenge, but finally, I'm so happy that we have a beautiful certified PMP family who was going for
Yes.
lunch. But I said, no, no, no. First success journey, then lunch.
Yeah, no,
Then
that is true. Like I remember that day I was really mad at him. Like, why did you approach him and why did you book the date? But actually, from that time, I started studying like a proper structured way. So that was good.
okay. So, do you recommend people to book the exam?
Yes, if they have definitely in my case, I had completed the videos and that is those videos are very knowledgeable and actually sufficient to have the basic knowledge of the PMP. So definitely after completing that series of videos, they can definitely book the exam because after booking the exam itself, you start preparing those mocks. You take the seriously and as soon as you complete like the knowledge is fresh in your mind, the points are fresh in your mind, and as you do the practice, like it gets easier. So definitely people who have previous knowledge of like whether what is in the PMP, they should book the exam.
They should book the exam. Like those who are studying, or
Yeah.
let's say another question, because the people who are right now listening to you, they are the people who are basically studying PMP right now, right? They're studying PMP right now. Uh, so they just fill the application. What would you recommend? Like, should they get a date like for a 2 month so that they don't get delayed or the things, or you recommend no, no need?
Definitely, they should have a 2 months deadline in their mind that once I completed this course, then with your I think your structure of the mocks and everything, it 1 2 months are sufficient to prepare and be very confident about appearing for the exam.
Okay. Okay. As a, what I would say, as a mom, how would you say preparing is difficult as a working professional, as a person like living in US, Canada, people don't understand unless they come. You don't get a maid. You only like my wife, somebody asked my wife like 6 months back, whom you miss most from Pakistan, and she said, our maid. Is that true for
So
you
that
also?
that that is true for me because I was following up, like Trimsy was following up with me for all the mocks whether I done, and my I have two kids, so and with all the work and everything, I used to finish my work like a house course and everything by 10 p.m. and I used to start for the mocks at after 11 p.m. 12 a.m. So it was like very late in the night, but that was my only time where I can concentrate. So it is possible for the mocks, and I just did like as you get ahead in the mocks, those 4 hours mocks, I was also like apprehensive, like how can I manage that 4 hours time, like how can I get that free time. But once you're prepared your mindset for the exam and you know that you have to do that, so you definitely take out your time, you reserve your time, and even the family also supports you, so that is also good in that was also good in my case.
Hmm.
So definitely all the factors should be together, but it mainly it depends on you how you take out your time, because we always have the time available maybe on the weekends or everything. But even my husband Vivek also mentioned that consistency is important. Whether you do half an hour every day or 1 hour every day, you have to do every day. That is important so that you are in that zone.
Hmm. In that zone. That's a very important thing. Okay, let's go come to the exam day. Then I'll go back. How did you manage time?
As I was explaining to you, I had in that in my mind that 50, 75, 75, 150, 75, 75 was in my mind that I had to complete these questions, these many questions, 60 questions in 150. And what was different is in my when I was appearing for my mock at my home, I used to have my time also at the like there was a watch in the corner, so I used to calculate the time. So here the recalculating that time, like how much time is left, that was something difficult when we were starting the questions. And I spent more time in the first 60 questions, so it was like I went overboard, like I took around 90 minutes for the first section. And then it was like my attempt for the second and third section was like I should be at least be completing like all the questions. That was my main agenda. So I did around 60 minutes in the second. It went little I aimed for 75, but still it went overboard, as I knew that I had already taken the 10 minutes earlier. So 60 minutes for the first and the second, and for the third one I knew that I have only 60 minutes left, and there were some questions. There are lengthy questions, so I was doing your technique of the reading the last, just reading the last, and then seeing the options. What is the important one, because you get the idea. And the last section was, as you said, it was comparatively easier. It was mostly about the team conflict management. So there, the questions, the options are very pretty much clear, like what you are to select.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, you have to select. Okay, so you did a very poor time management. Like with the
Yeah.
last, with the last section only 60 minutes. It was like why it happened? Because when you were completing,
Because of the first section I took those 10 minutes more in first section,
so you took
because
90 minutes in the first section.
yes.
You took 90 minutes in the first section. Second, okay, and yeah, so second was 75, okay, but the third you have 60. How did you complete the exam?
uh as as I said, my time management, like the fast section was the third section. Second, I still was reading all the full question, because the language how we do it in the mock is a little different in how the scenarios were in the exam. And even the options were sometimes the options were not so clear. So first section I took a lot of time to understand, because it was the like I was expecting something similar to a mock, but the first section was little different. Second section I could manage, like okay, what is the scenario is going to be. And third section was easy, so I could take my time back from the third section, because second section and first section actually took more time to me to realize the what is the context of the problem, what is the solution, which are the best options.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, let's go back into last 1 week of preparation. How did you prepare in the last 1 week for PMP?
In the last 1 week, but that was my method of always preparing for the mock. Is I had when I watched the videos, I had prepared the mind maps if in the first itself. So I used to refer to those mind maps, and there are also some of the questions, like there were repeated questions, so I already had searched about this. So I search about the answers, like which are the main questions which had like I had got wrong earlier. And for preparing in the last week, so I used to refer the mind map. I used to read your book, and I had highlighted your the pointers in the book, and then I used to start the mock.
Hmm. Okay, then, okay. Uh, how important it is to do 180 mocks to prepare for the exam?
I would say for the time management, it's definitely important, because you have to have that consistency of like, because in 60 questions mock, there are some questions which is similar, and also like your time is okay for 1 hour you can manage, but for 4 hours mock it requires a lot of concentration also to get to that end of the 180 questions. And those questions, like there are different topics covered, so your concentration also is there, like which topic is that, your analysis gets better. And as I said, then after 10-15 questions, you start doing that, read the last line first, see the options, your finding of the keywords, the skills get better. So those four, and I had attended like I did like 5 mocks, so that was like a good practice for me.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's an interesting thing into that. Okay, now how many drag and drop questions were there in your exam?
Only one question was, that was also matching type.
Matching any formula question? Like
Yeah,
in the morning we discussed about the
I
formula.
got like 4 to 5 formula questions.
Okay, and you need to calculate them, or were they easy? How were they?
I, for my own sanity, I calculated them to just to know that whether I'm doing right or not. But there were some questions like just asking about one particular problem. It might have been simple, but I was just being extra cautious and I calculated them.
Hmm. You calculated them. Okay. Guys, if anyone has any question, please feel free to ask because my goal is here bringing her and stopping her for lunch. She actually called, I just called her when she messaged me, said, we are going for lunch after. I said, you can do lunch after 10 minutes. Let's record your journey. I need your 10 minutes. So if you have any question, be selfish. Ask that question. It's important for your exam. Which topics were most highlighted in your exam? Stakeholder communication team.
Uh, Teams, yes, lot of questions over the team management, conflicts, and vendor management also. So like some of the like 4 5 questions about the vendor management procurement, but they were very scenario based questions, like whether conflict based, whether what problem will be there. And there were like, I was actually apprehensive about the risk questions because I was always finding in mocks I used to get wrong answers for the risk. So thankfully there were no risk questions in that.
Not much risk question.
Not much risk questions.
That's interesting. That's interesting. But agile was highly highlighted in the exam, right?
Yeah, agile was highlighted.
Okay, when you say agile, is it for values 12 principle or Scrum was also there?
The role of the scrum master, how he will manage the scrum, how he will manage the scrum if there is a change in the scope, how the scrum master will take action on that. What is the owner's role if there is a conflict in the team for designing the stories? What is the role of the scrum master in that? So those kind of those questions on the agile.
Hmm. Acha, Ubaid is asking, okay, which topics in the first section were more or why like it took you 90 minutes? What were the most problematic area in that?
In that, the most problematic area was identifying exactly what is the problem, because it is like that there is a design engineer and then he wants to design something else. What is your approach? So it is always like where what process it is and what stage it is and what is the option, because the options were so similar in that question. So what we have, the technique, elimination technique, that was I was finding it difficult to like which options to eliminate in that those, because there are 4 different set of options. So that took my time. And also, the as I explained, the what is the role of the scrum master if there is a conflict, the one person is asking about this, another person is asking about this, what you will do. The options were not straight away from the, like you have to apply for the stakeholder engagement plan or communication management plan. Options were more detailed.
Hmm. The options were more detailed into that. Okay, that how did you manage stress and anxiety? So she was stressful even in the morning when I called her. So how did you manage in the exam, sister?
Yeah, so actually, when you are giving up solving the questions, the stress is should be the least priority because you have to focus on the questions. And I did that. Did that take 10 minutes break, even if I knew that okay, I'm losing time, so I had to recompose myself. I had to gain the composure, so I took that 10-minute break each time. Just think about whatever is done. Don't think about the past. Think about the next set of questions. And even when the questions, when I was getting stuck, if it is taking more time, so I used to just select any answer, because select whichever the answer is the best suited for that condition, and used to move on, because otherwise you just lose the time, and that will not be beneficial for you if you don't attend. So that was my thing. And after, like, first section was so difficult, second section did, and third section I was like, let the result whatever it is be, focus on the questions and just attempt the questions and skim it fast. So that was my only tactic. Like, I was not thinking about what will happen. The stress actually it comes like what will happen, whether I will fail or not. Then I was like, let whatever it happens, let me get through it. And also one thing I said to myself is, the when I was searching for this PMI result, even I was apprehensive like whether I'll pass or not. So I had searched for Google, like what is the passing percentage and all. So in that it was mentioned the PMI checks your ability, whether you are what is your mindset, and whether you will be applying those principles or not. So it's not about the marks, it's about how you are applying this principle and what is your mindset of applying this PMP concepts. So I just kept that in mind.
Hmm. Okay, that's a very interesting thing how you put it. You could have asked me, there is no percentage of PMP exam. I,
No, what
yeah.
I know, but I was like, I want to pass. I want to pass. That is my that was in my
Yeah,
head.
of course, when you have worked so hard, especially you only worked hard in the last month. But now let me put it very plainly, you did not, you only started proper studying when actually your husband booked the exam, then you started studying. Otherwise, you were studying up and down. I was asking, like I'm asking, Trimji is asking. So yeah, when we started booking the exam, and he immediately said that, yeah, let's book our exam too and go for it. Guys, anyone has any other question? A working mom who has one of the impossible schedule cleared PMP, and this is was very beautiful. Pradna, loved working with you. Great job. Do send me a good picture of you. Let's send me
Yeah,
a picture of both of you. Okay,
yeah,
and
sure.
yeah, that will be good.
Or
And
let her take the limelight. It's her day today.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay. And you need to take her to her favorite food, not you, not yours, right?
Yeah,
Yes, for
It's
sure.
yeah,
For
it's her
sure.
time. It's her time. Okay, how much
For
time
sure.
did you dedicate per day? Mitesh is asking as a final question, how much time you dedicated, especially in last 1 month?
So it was for the mocks, as per the mocks, but it is like 2 hours. That was a rough, because I used to do prepare and then I used to appear for the mocks. So it's like roughly 2 hours.
Mm, roughly 2 hours. Okay, thank you very much for that, and thank you once again for becoming PMP. Uh,
Thank you also for guiding and supporting,
that's what
and also the Trinzy for following up with me.
it's my passion, sister. I have to do it. And enjoy your lunch. Go ahead. Now you
Yeah,
can take your
sure,
lunch. Okay, guys. Bye.
sure. Bye.
We made first baseline scope. Now we are gonna make schedule or schedule baseline. How much time it will take to actually complete that thing. Okay. So now for first